You found a home, you're excited, but now the lender doesn't want to approve your loan. The inspection report reveals major issues, or worse, you're rushing to buy a home now because you miscalculated your own timeline. I see this happen all the time where buyers think they're ready.
I am ready.
Until the process shows them that they aren't. Buying a home is probably one of the most terrifying things that you'll do. And honestly, it should be. Because you're about to take on hundreds of thousands of debt, and there's just so much that you don't know yet. Most first-time homebuyers are scared to make one mistake because they all know it's going to cost you thousands of dollars right out the gate. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down what I still see buyers getting wrong despite all the information that's already out there. If you want to avoid any costly mistakes or just mistakes in general and actually feel ready to buy, make sure to stay locked in. Hear me when I say this. Getting a pre-approval does not guarantee you a loan. In fact, if you try to get a loan and you got denied right out the gate, that just means there are some things you need to work on. But let's just say you did get your pre-approval and you have it in hand already. In fact, let's make it even worse. You're under contract already. If you do not maintain the same scenario that you already presented that loan officer with to get the pre-approval in hand, I'm talking about your debt to income, your job, your credit. If you make any changes in that, best believe, while you're under contract, a loan officer can, or it's not even the loan officer at this point, the underwriter can literally take that pre-approval away and leave you in limbo.
Wait, I have an idea.
Really? What is it?
Let's leave.
Now you're going to be scrambling to find another lender that's going to take on your circumstances and give you a loan so that you can close on that home that you found. In fact, I have a personal story of a client I was working with where this exact scenario happened to us. We were under contract, we had the pre-approval, underwriting decides to take a look at it, and immediately they're like, nope, we're not going to give you a loan anymore. So now we're scrambling trying to find another lender to literally give him a pre-approval of that dollar amount so that he can go ahead and close on that home. Sounds crazy that stuff like this can even occur, but the issue is that the underwriter never really sees, and this is literally the person that calls all the shots at the end of the day.
I am the decider of history. I decide. Let the decider decide. I am not the suggestion.
But that individual does not see your file up front. They really only see it when you go under contract and everything gets submitted to them. So if you want to prevent issues like that occurring, be sure to provide all your documentation. Like I said earlier, don't change your financial situation. Try to keep everything the exact same, if anything better. And also what you can do is get a pre-approval that has already been underwritten before you start house shopping. And your loan can be denied for various amounts of reasons. I mean, the main two that I really see is when someone's debt to income and credit score is no longer in alignment with what the lender is even looking for. But if you have a high debt to income and you have good credit score, just know that still may not work, right? We want the debt to income and your credit score to be in alignment with what the lender is looking for. And if one of those things shift, just know you have now put yourself in a position where you can now have your loan, unfortunately, be denied days before closing. So at that point in time, I'm sorry, but
We have work to do.
and I want to share this with you because I need you to understand how serious your credit is in regards to your loan. I had a lender partner of mine share with me that some lenders out there have a credit monitoring system that monitors your credit to make sure that if anything changes, they are alerted maybe before you even share it with them. Typically, what I'm used to is hearing that lenders will pull credit maybe a day or two or maybe the day of closing. But to hear that there's a credit monitoring system, chances are they know exactly what's going on with your credit when you're doing it. So don't try to finagle the system in any sort of way, because they already know, and you don't want to put yourself in a situation where days before closing, you no longer have that loan. So if you need a real estate agent or a lender to get in touch with you to help you with that home buying process, be sure to click the link in the description below next to agent referral. That way I can get in touch with you and connect you to the best person in your local market. As simple as this one may sound, you will be very surprised how many individuals still don't set a timeline in terms of when they need to move by. In fact, what I hear a lot is, I'll buy when I find the home. It's like, hold on. How are you going to do that? You at least need to know when you need to move by, because you're moving for a reason. You're not just moving because of the home in itself. You're probably moving because of your job. You're probably moving because you want a better sense of life, of scenery, whatever the case may be. Or maybe the kids need to be in a different school district. I'm not sure. But it's your life, and you need to figure out what timeline you need to be on, because I'll tell you now, if you don't, it's going to be pure chaos, especially if you leave it up to someone else to design your own timeline for you. But most importantly, if you try and buy and you completely forget about the hidden costs, it will break you. I mean, if you're still under the impression that all you need is a down payment and you can purchase a home, please let me know in the comments, where the heck have you been?
I mean, you'd have to be living under a rock not to know what.
Because there's also taxes, insurance, HOAs, closing costs, moving expenses. I mean, there is just so much more that I can go on and on and on. So if you decide to go ahead and burn through your savings, what are you going to do if the AC goes out next month? Or worse, property taxes go up, or maybe the HOA goes up. I actually had a previous client that I was working with. They actually mentioned the same exact scenario. They had a brother that was living in this community, and granted, this person was living in that community for a very long time, where HOA started at $50. And now they're experiencing where HOA is over $200, right? That's not going to literally prepare you, because again, that's over the period of time. But things like that can occur. If a HOA really wants to be a jerk and do that, just best believe it can possibly happen, where it's a crazy jump. And I mean, just look what's going on in Florida. I mean, for crying out loud. As much as I preach on this channel to get an inspection report for the home that you're trying to buy, one thing that confuses me about it is when a buyer actually gets it and they see the inspection report, how many of them actually want to pull out of the deal at that current time. One thing I'm going to forewarn you on is, when you do get one, that inspection report is like a grocery list of items that needs your attention. So I could understand why a lot of individuals want to freak out and say, hey, I'm not buying this house because there's way too much things that needs to be addressed here. And that's fair. But I want to also caution you, the main things that you want to pay attention to, or at least look for on the inspection report, because those are the items that's going to cost you an arm and a leg: the plumbing, the HVAC, the electrical, the roof, the foundation. If there's issues there, then I say you have every right to freak out and panic and say, you know what, I don't even want to move forward with this. Because even new construction has issues. So if you're looking at an older home, don't expect that older home to not have any issues.
Almost thought I had a good one today. Started out okay, then I went downhill. Food waste disposer doesn't work, and it is plugged in and there is power. Okay, I want to know whose idea this was. Who approved this? I don't even understand how I am looking at this right now. Why would you want that? It's right in the way of your face. Okay, let's check the top of the shower. Whoa, they actually sealed it. Oh, never mind. Strap's broken. Also, someone walked across this insulation or something. Should be a nice 14 to 16 all the way across. Not like that. Every single new build. This is a post-tension cable, and the whole thing should be sealed. Should be like a little cap of mortar right there. Like this. Just like that.
Also, one last thing before you fall in love with that home, please, for me, get your budget in place and then explore these neighborhoods and go check them out at different times of the day, because you don't want to end up like one of my previous clients where they literally did the exploring, they looked, they found that neighborhood, but they did not get their financing in place. And so when they found that home, sure enough, what the heck you think happened? By the time they were able to get their pre-approval, someone else slid right underneath them, got the home under contract, and now they're stuck in limbo with, all right, now this neighborhood isn't going to work for them, because their perfect home that they thought was going to be the one no longer is the one, because they did not have their financing in place first. Buying a home is not just about the money. It's about the preparation, the patience, and the timing. So like this video if you learned something new, and subscribe if you want to avoid the traps that are out there. And let me know in the comments below, which one of these mistakes shocked you the most, or better yet, have you seen anyone make one of these mistakes? But just as much as I enjoy making these videos for you all, my name is Roney Polynice, and remember, I got your back. So if you are looking for a real estate agent to help you with that home buying process in your local market, be sure to click the link in the description below next to agent referral. Fill out the form entirely. That way I can get in touch with you and connect you to the best real estate agent.